Today we're going to be making a New Year's banner. Now I know New Year's Eve is already past, but it doesn't hurt to have a banner that you could decorate. You could put it up in your room, or you could even just save it for next year to hold up on New Year's Eve. But we're going to be making this fun banner basically just as a decoration. Now, these are the materials that you're gonna need. You're gonna need 2 pieces of paper for this. It doesn't have to be white paper. It could be lined paper or colored paper or whatever paper you have at your house. You're gonna need something to color with. I'm gonna be using markers because I like how bright they are, but you can use crayons, colored pencils, whatever you have to color with. You could even use paint if that's what you wanted to use for this project. You're gonna need a scissors, a pencil, and some tape. And also, if you wanna make this banner something that you can hold, like you could hold it up, you're gonna need like popsicle sticks or some kind of stick to attach so that you can hold it. I'm gonna be using these skewers that you use for like kebabs, just because that's what I have at my house. But if you want to be able to hold this, like I said, popsicle sticks, skewers, you could even use sticks that you find outside in your yard. The first thing we're gonna do is decorate our banner, and we're gonna be decorating our banner with 2 big stars. Now, a lot of times, students will get frustrated because they don't know how to do the stars that don't have anything in the middle. When I draw them, I can draw them like that doesn't have those lines in the middle. But if you don't know how to do that, which most students don't know how to do that, you can just draw a regular star like that with the lines in the middle, and then you can turn your paper over and you can look for the lines and just trace it. Now, I can't see it right here, but I could probably see those lines if I hold it up to the window. So I have my paper up here up against the window, and you can see the lines through it. So you're just going to look for the lines that are on the outside of the star that you drew on the back and just trace over those lines so that you have a star to decorate that doesn't have the lines in the middle. So here's 2 big stars that I drew on my paper, just the regular stars that has the lines in the middle. And then I held it up to the window and I traced the stars on, just tracing the outline of the shape of the star. So now I have 2 stars that I can decorate. So I'm gonna use my markers and I'm going to trace the outside with a color. And you can use any color. If you want it to be a black outline, you can trace it with black first. That's gonna be your choice. You can decorate these however you want. Once you have your 2 stars decorated and finished coloring, then that's when you want to cut them out. Okay, now I'm gonna set these 2 stars to the side because I'm not gonna need those for a little bit. And I'm gonna get my second piece of paper, and what I want you to do is cut that in half the long ways. So maybe the easiest thing to do so that you can get a straight line is to fold it in half first. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fold it and then open it back up and just cut right on the line that I folded. And I'm going to tape these together. I'm going to tape them together so that I have a nice, long, skinny sheet of paper for my banner. So line them up in the middle, and then just put your piece of tape right there, tape them together. All right, now when I'm taping pieces of paper together for an art project, I always make sure that the tape goes on the back. So tape it on the back and then flip it over to the front, and then this will be the side that you decorate. Now obviously, because this is a Happy New Year banner, you're gonna want it to say Happy New Year, and then you can decorate it however you want once you have the words on there. Now there's a lot of different ways that you can write Happy New Year. You could write Happy New Year just in regular handwriting. You could do bubble letters or block letters. You could do fancy letters. Maybe we'll just do fancy letters for today. Now you do want to make sure that on each end you leave enough room for your star. So this is where the star is going to be attached. So maybe I want to make like a little line there so I know where I can start my letters, because I don't want to put like H for happy right here and then I wind up sticking my star right over top of it. Same thing on the other side. The other side is going to have the other star, so maybe I'm going to make like a little mark there so that when I'm writing Happy New Year, the R doesn't get cut off over here on the other side. So right where I have my first little mark, that's where I'm going to start the H for happy. And I think I'm going to use a pencil first. That way if I mess up, I can erase it. Now, keep in mind that you have a certain amount of space to fit all of these letters. So don't write happy super big and then you only have a little tiny bit of space to write New Year. But if that does happen to you and you write happy and happy goes all the way over here and then you just have this little space to write New Year, you could always write new in smaller letters here and then year underneath of it. So there's a couple of different ways to kind of fix that. Now, the other thing is that you could do, if you completely mess up, you could flip it over and you could draw on this side. Just remember that there's tape on the back, so it might not look that good. So I'm going to start on this side. And I'm going to do some fancy letters, which I think are going to be the easiest for you guys. But if you want to do different kind of lettering, help yourself. Do whatever you want. So I'm going to write my H really big. And then to make it fancy, I'm just going to add on these little swirls. So you can add swirls wherever you want. I'm just going to put 2. If you wanted to put 4 or 5, you could put however many swirls you wanted. And I'm going to keep on working my way over. I'm going to write the A, and then I'm going to add a swirl just to make it look cute and fancy. Then I'm going to do my first P, and I'm going to add a little swirl, and maybe I'll put a little swirl over here also. And then another P, and a swirl. And all right, so now we have happy, and then we need to fit New Year to here. So let's start with a big N, new, and add some swirls. There we go. All right, so now I have my banner, Happy New Year. And now I am ready to decorate it because so far it's just with pencil. Now I can take my markers and trace over my letters and decorate it. Once you have your letters traced with a color, then you can decorate this however you want. So I think the first thing I want to add is some polka dots. So I'm using a yellow a yellow marker, and I'm just going to add some polka dots here and there. And you do not have to add polka dots onto yours. You can decorate yours however you want. Trying to make some of the polka dots bigger or smaller so that there's a variety of different sizes. And I think that looks pretty good. Now, another thing that you might think of when you think about New Year's is like firecrackers or fireworks. So you can use some colors to create some fireworks on yours, and that's just like I showed you right here. You just take your marker and you just make these little lines that kind of come out from the center, because you know how fireworks, they kind of like explode out from the center. So if you just make these little lines look like they're exploding out from the center, then it'll look like a firework. And you can do those with whatever color you want, because you know fireworks can be whatever color. Oops. And I don't know if you noticed, but I tried to use the same color markers for my banner that I did for my stars. So I used yellow, green, and blue on this star, and I used yellow and purple on this star. So those are the same colors that I used for my banner to kind of create like a color scheme. So that just used a few colors, and I used that throughout the whole banner. Now you can add more decorations to your banner if you want to. I'm just gonna stop right there for now. The next step is going to be to fold your banner into an accordion. Well, you could just keep it like this, I guess, if you wanted to, but to make it more fun, I'm gonna show you how to fold it. It's called accordion fold, and you're gonna have to pay kind of close attention to this. You're gonna start on one end, and remember, this is the end that you are putting your star. So just fold that end to where you have the space where you're gonna attach your star. Then for the rest of it, I'm gonna make smaller folds. So I'm gonna fold here for the next fold, and it's gonna be a smaller fold. And accordion folding just means that it's gonna go back and forth, folding it in different directions. And it's hard to see because this, actually, you know what? I'll just fold the whole thing so that you can see better. So the place where I have my star, I'm gonna fold that too. So then accordion folding is going back and forth. So I'm gonna fold it this way, then I'm gonna fold it this way. Then I'm gonna turn it back and I'm gonna fold it this way. And then I'm gonna turn it back and fold it this way. So that when you open it up, it looks like an accordion, okay? So fold it, flip it over, fold it the other way, flip it over, fold it the other way, flip it over, fold it the other way, and you just keep doing that until you get to the other end. Okay, now remember, that's where my star goes. So I'm gonna open this back up. Now I have a nice accordion. I'm going to flatten out this one end where I said I was gonna put my star, and I am actually gonna tape it, but you could glue it if you want to, but I already have my tape out for the other parts of this project, so I might as well just use tape. So I'm gonna do the thing where I fold the tape over to make it into like a little tape tube, and then stick that on the back of my star, and then attach the star right there. All right, and then all the way over to the other side, do the same thing. I'm gonna get a piece of tape, fold it so that the sticky side is on the outside, make a little tape tube, stick it on the back of my star, and attach it. Okay, now the last thing is, I told you that if you wanted this banner to be a banner that you could hold, you could attach some sticks. Now the banner looks super cool just the way it is, so if you want to hang this in your room, just go ahead and hang it like this. You could probably use some tape on the back to hang it on your wall, or if you're one of those people that has tacks, you could probably use a tack and attach it to your wall. But I'm gonna make it so that I can actually hold it. But if it was New Year's Eve, I could hold it up and wave it around. So I'm gonna take my stick and I'm gonna line it up on the back, and I'm gonna use 2 pieces of tape. Whenever I'm attaching sticks to something, I like to use 2 pieces and make an X. So I have one piece that kind of goes diagonally this way, and then I take the other piece and put it so that it goes diagonally this way, and that way it will stay put a little bit better for me. Good, and then do the other side. and Happy New Year. So you can kind of move it around and wave it just like that. Happy New Year.